Good morning. We're going to get started. That's Friday fun. Good morning. It is 8:31. We are going to get started. Thank you.
Sure what they put in the coffee out there this morning. Good morning. How are you?
It's a gap in time.
I appreciate it. Thank you. How are you? Nice to see you. Morning, Miss. Oh, actually, I'm Bob Bevel. You're Bob Bevel every day.
All right. Good morning. As people are finding their way in, it's 8:32, and I am going to start the meeting here almost like right now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. So I want to welcome everybody to the first 2025 Horizon General Council meeting. Thank you all for attending. We have a full schedule today, so I do want to go ahead and get started. So I'm calling the meeting to order. Let's go ahead and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. Can I have a motion for approval of the minutes from the general membership meeting on November 18th? So moved. Thank you. All right, for the chair update, I just wanted to go over a few things. We have had our executive council meetings and updates from our committees, and so I will give brief updates on those committee meetings. So we have a lot of activity in our business issues committee led by Gary Tasman. We had a very successful business continuity program last year. We are going to do that again this year before hurricane season, so be on the lookout for that. And we've also tackled the cybersecurity area as well. And so Gary is going to be hosting some events. His first one is in March that the committee has worked on. So if you aren't aware of that, there is some information that's available on that as well. So moving forward, Shelby Bockham for our STEM program also is very active. Their committee is very active. They also have an AI challenge that Guido will talk about a little bit in his update. And we're very excited about that and all the great things that she's doing and the people that she has in her committee from the community, a lot of great educational and medical people who are in there. So we're looking very much forward to what she's going to be doing this year. The other committees are meeting. I know that our bylaws committee has some updates and changes they're making, and we'll talk about that a little later in probably our executive meeting coming up, and then bring it to the general council here soon. Everybody's working hard, working towards their goals that they've made. We will start providing information and updates on what the committees are up to. So we have transparency, and again, we encourage, if you want to be involved in any committee, that you reach out to those committee leaders and see if you're able to participate and join the task. So thank you for that. With that, I will go to Guido. Dr. Minaya.
Thank you, Madam Chair. All right, thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning. All right, so Horizon Foundation President's Report. As Helen mentioned, we had about 380 in attendance. It is a happy problem for our annual meeting. We had, I think, up to 100 folks that were on the waiting list, right? So what we're grappling a little bit with is, do we want to keep it intimate like it is because Broadway Palm is that kind of a nice theater, or do we want to look at a larger location? So those are the things that we're going to be working on over the next couple of months. The annual meeting report, man, what a phenomenal report. It's available online, so you can easily recommend this. That's another great publication. We have a new innovator investment level at $50,000. Our goal is $575,000 for the year. We're already at about $90,000 in commitments. We said goodbye to our first chairman, our founder and dear friend, David Barton. We had a memorial event last Friday, shared stories about David, and interestingly enough, we know what his life was like here with the Horizon Council, the IDA, the Southwest Regional Manufacturers Association, that he developed the North Cape Industrial Park and the Free Trade Zone. So that's the legacy he leaves behind. But in the UK, he came over when he was about 50. He had a whole other phenomenal life, right? And he was a manufacturer there, and he made manufactured offices that were stackable. So it was interesting to hear about his other life. So it was a very nice event, and he leaves behind a huge legacy, as well as the David Barton Legacy Award that we have here at the Horizon Council. An update on the Edison Awards AI Challenge. Again, thanks to Shelby Bauckham, to Tatum Walker, to the STEM to Career Committee, the school district who played an important role. We have 3 finalists out of the 8 high schools that were competing. About 80 students were involved total. First place goes to a K-12 teacher AI innovation, right? When you hear about what's included in their design, incredible. Dunbar. Second place goes to a healthcare AI solution, Bishop Barreau, and that one also is extremely innovative. And the third place goes to construction in AI, and that's also Dunbar. So on next Friday, March 6th, at the Collaboratory, each group is going to present to the President's Circle teams, and we'll get a chance to give them their awards, film it. So all that is great stuff. So that's the report for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Minaya. I would be remiss if I didn't, on behalf of Bill and Dr. Minaya, say that we will take your $50,000 check at the back door for the innovation. Yeah? You'll be standing there, hand out, yes? Perfect. All right. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Next on our agenda would be Commissioner Hammond.
Well, good morning, everyone. How's it going? It is my privilege to be here with you guys this morning on behalf of the Board of Lee County Commissioners. I get to be your liaison this year to the Horizon Council. And I wanted to share a couple bits of good news. First of all, something very exciting. Hopefully none of you have weekend plans, because if you don't, you do now. So we cut the ribbon on the Ag Expo yesterday. And so this is what was famously known as the fair, right? So it's out at the Lee County Civic Center complex. We cut the ribbon on the Ag Expo last night. We had had a great first night, but it's going to be running all the way through March 10th, and the Board of County Commissioners would love to see you out there. I'm going to steal a line from Nancy. Listen, if it's candy, if it's a cookie, if it can be deep fried, it is being deep fried out there. And so now is the time to give up that New Year's resolution and get out to the Ag Expo. I'll tell you what, it smelled so good at the ribbon cutting. Plus, I've got kids, and they're going to really enjoy the rides. I wanted to share with you that recently the Lee County Board of County Commissioners held its board strategic planning retreat. We talked about everything from the budget to the budget to the budget, which... Listen, it's your money, and we got to make sure that we're spending it wisely. One of the topics we talked about there was the idea of taking the sheriff's office budget and moving it onto its own line on the tax bill. So, believe it or not, your Lee County General Fund budget is about $700 million, okay? And about $550 million of that comes from your property taxes, okay? And so, the Lee County Sheriff's Office budget is now annually $315 million. So it's taking basically half of the general fund. And so if you look at your property tax bill when you get it every year, you're going to see about 19 different line items on your property tax bill. You can see how much you pay for libraries. You can see how much you pay for your fire department. You can see how much you even pay for mosquito control. But looking at your tax bill, you can't see how much you pay for the sheriff's office. So it's not about cutting the sheriff's office. It's about taking it and putting it on its own line so that you can see how much of your property taxes are going to the sheriff's office. Another thing that I think people aren't fully aware of is inside of your Lee County General Fund, I think you look at those as the taxes that the county commissioners set. Well, it's $700 million, and believe it or not, almost 60% of it funds the constitutionals. So that's your sheriffs, your property appraiser, your tax collector, your supervisor of elections, and your clerk of courts. It really leaves the commissioners with only about like 200, I'm using round numbers, but like 200 million to run the 29 departments that you truly think of as county government after you funded all of the 5 constitutionals. So I just wanted to kind of bring more awareness to the budget and to what we actually have to work with as county commissioners. We're serving a really fast-growing population, and we're doing our best to make sure that we are smart with the way we spend your tax dollars. Finally, I want to just assure you that we are working on traffic, right? It's season. Everybody feels the traffic. So what we've done as a board is we've hired the drive-through crew at Chick-fil-A to start managing. I'm kidding. I wish it was that easy, right? I wish it was that easy. But believe it or not, we have our Traffic Operations Center working overtime these days. They are monitoring all of the critical intersections, especially on days when we have 2 spring training games going on at both JetBlue and Hammond Stadium. They are able to adjust the traffic lights real time and try to make sure that they give people the most screen time to get through those intersections. It's a tough season, but Easter's coming soon. I'm hoping that all your businesses are benefiting from all the extra folks that are down here. It's great to see that tourism is back, and hopefully we can all continue to recover from the hurricanes and the things that we've seen over the last few summers. So that's it. Your Board of County Commissioners is here for you. If we can do anything, please reach out.
Thank you for the update, Commissioner Hammond, and we look forward to working with you and having you as our liaison this year. All right, let's shift over to the Economic Development Office. Mr. Talmadge.
Good morning. I don't have a whole lot to say. I think we're waiting to hear from our next population estimate. We think we're going to blow by 850,000 people. So we're on that march to get to 1 million. One thing I'm not briefed y'all on is the success of the North Fort Myers Incentive Program. And thanks to Commissioner Hammond, and actually it was fostered by Dan Eveloff and a committee of the Horizon Council at the time, and Glenn Sawyer is our assistant county manager. So we've expended everything. If you drive through 41, New 41, you'll take a look at Merchants Crossing and Hancock Square, and it gives a whole new feeling to the community. And so it's just been terrifically successful, and I want to thank everyone for that. You want to say that?
Could I get one minute on that? So, Shame on me. John texted me and said you really need to tell people about all the good things going on in your district in North Fort Myers, and I totally left that out. But guys, we have a Starbucks in North Fort Myers now. So Listen, if you haven't been through North Fort Myers lately, it is on fire. We have units going up everywhere. We've got beautiful multifamily market rate housing going up right now that is going to bring customers in to support the businesses in North Fort Myers. I think we've long thought of North Fort Myers, unfortunately, as vacant and abandoned commercial plazas. I'm telling you, no more. The customers are coming. They're moving in. That plaza that was at Hancock and 41 that was such an eyesore that would flood every single time it rains, it's gone. And if you take Hancock right now to 41, you will see beautiful apartment buildings that are under construction. I mean, this is tens of millions of dollars that are being invested in North Fort Myers. The customers are coming. The businesses will follow. I'm so excited. John, thank you so much for your help with that incentive fund.
Yes, sir. You betcha. And also, while he's here, I'd like to say hello to Matt Fieldman, who works with Commissioner Hammond, Tam Pygott, and Jeff Milkey, who are my co-directors in the county. And take a chance, if you haven't gone, to go enjoy our cultural offerings, because the Barbara B. Mann, the Broadway Palm, the Florida Rep, the Cape Coral Theater, and many of our other theaters, we have a tremendous amount of talent here. Bill Johnson is going to be starring tonight at the Cape Coral Theater. And we're excited about that, but we have a lot to offer in Lee County. And I just don't think we really appreciate all we do have to offer. But I think that's all I'm going to say today, but thank y'all.
Thank you, John. All right, we're going to move into our nonprofit highlight. Today is Gulf Coast Humane Society, Lori Burke, the Development Director. Lori Burke is a dynamic professional with a diverse career spanning 2 continents and multiple sectors. Beginning her journey in Boston and Atlanta's fast-paced corporate world, Lori has spent a decade honoring her skills in marketing and business development for her Fortune 500 and startup companies. Seeking to make a more direct impact on society, she transitioned to the nonprofit sector while living in Shanghai, China, leading a program of the Shanghai Charity Foundation. Coming home with her 2 daughters to the United States, Lori settled in Fort Myers and leveraged her unique blend of for-profit acumen and nonprofit passion to start the local office of Mothers Against Drunk Driving and helped with several smart startup nonprofits. Today, she serves as a development director of the Gulf Coast Humane Society. When not working, Lori enjoys spending time doing yoga with her daughters, fostering the sheltered pets, and promoting her plant-based lifestyle. So, without further ado, Lori, we welcome you. Thank you.
Good morning. I'd like to thank the Horizon Council for allowing us to be here today and for me to tell you a little bit about the Gulf Coast Humane Society. Most people know us as a place to adopt pets, dogs and cats. We are so much more than that. And we have some expansion plans that I'm going to tell you about. But because we're so much more than that, we recently, within the last 6 months, we recently updated our mission statement. And our new mission statement is that we're dedicated to being a safe haven for pets in need by providing medical care, facilitating adoptions, and nurturing the bond between pet and people in Southwest Florida. So one of the things one of the areas, we have four pillars of programs, and one of the areas that is exponentially growing is our medical facilities, both in veterinarian care and spay and neuter. And so much so that we have purchased some property across from our existing campus off of MLK, and we're going to be building a 10,000 square foot medical building. We are very, very excited about this. We are so happy to be in the city of Fort Myers and continue that tradition as we always have been since 1947. So I really appreciate being able to be here and share that with you. If you do need veterinarian care, we have quality, affordable veterinarian care, especially dental, which can be very expensive for our pets. And we also do spay and neuters. Surgeries, which is really healthy for all of our pets and creates a much healthier community for that as well. And for those that have food insecurity, we offer 7 days a week a pet food pantry. and we give away, generally distribute about 23,000 pounds of food a year to our community's pets. So we really appreciate the opportunity to be here. I probably have gone over my minute, so I apologize. But I am so passionate about what we do there and the fact that we really do nurture that bond between pet and people that is just very inspiring. So thank you so much. I appreciate being able to be here. Have a great day.
Thank you, Lori. We appreciate the update and information. And I would like to say, for those of you who are considering a pet, to adopt or rescue is such a great opportunity for you to share your house with fur babies. So I've certainly done it and have received much joy from those little fur babies that I have. All right. So this morning we have with us the Superintendent of Lee County Schools, Dr. Denise Carlin. I'm going to read a bit of her bio, but I would like to say that meeting Dr. Carlin in the executive committee meetings and hearing her passion for students and the school system is just extraordinary. So I love when you talk about not just putting the problem on a shelf, but actually taking action and fixing. When we talked about the bus system, was just tremendous. So I personally just want to say thank you for your passion and dedication that you have for our school district. So Dr. Carlin is a lifelong educator, having served the school district of Lee County for 32 years as a teacher, assistant principal, district leader, and Dr. Carlin was elected on November 5th. So she has come up through the ranks and understands all aspects of what's going on. So I think that that's super important as well, and just a testament of how her leadership will be. As superintendent of schools for a 4-year term, she is proud to serve as the first elected superintendent in Lee County in our 50-year history. Dr. Carlin is honored to have the opportunity to serve the students, families, and team members who make Lee County so exceptional. Dr. Carlin believes in public education and knows that the children of Lee County are our future. She recognizes that while the school district of Lee County has made some strides, there is much more that can be done to provide high-quality education for every student. As such, our school district will ensure safe and secure schools, increase student achievement, expand technical education opportunities, increase teacher retention and recruitment, ensure fiscal responsibility, and empower parents as our partners in education. Dr. Carlin was raised in Cape Coral and has lived in Lee County for 55 years, and she has been married to her husband for 34 years and has 2 sons. So please welcome Dr. Carlin.
All right, thank you. Well, good morning, everybody. How's everybody today? Good. Well, I'll tell you, when Helen lists that, all the things that I said I would accomplish before the election, now that you're elected, be careful what you ask for, right? Holy cow. So good morning. It is truly an honor to stand before you for the very first time as the superintendent of Lee County Public Schools. I am really, really proud to be here today. I want to begin by thanking all of you as community and business leaders for your time, for your commitment, and for your dedication to our students. You heard Dr. Manaya talk this morning earlier about the Edison Awards and the fact that you stand behind our students. You recognize them in such fantastic ways. And we were both doing the happy dance about Dunbar High School and how fantastically they are doing, and just so excited to have a couple of winners, as well as from Bishop Rowe High School, which is my alma mater, and a few of us in the audience. So it's very exciting. I want you to let you know that your leadership plays a critical role, an absolutely critical role in shaping our schools. Not only our schools, but the entire community. And together, as you well know, we have the power to make a lasting impact on the lives of the children right here in Lee County. So while I've only served as superintendent for a few months, my career in Lee County, as we said earlier, spans more than 30 years. I've had the privilege of serving this community not only as a classroom teacher, but an assistant principal, a wide variety of jobs, HR, academic services, you name it. Everything except kind of like operations. I'm not a construction gal, unfortunately. I didn't have that in my background. But other than that, had the opportunity to work with the superintendent on strategic planning, supervised elementary schools and K-8 schools, and then finished my career as chief of staff of the school district, and then finally as chief of government relations and communications. And in those 32 years, I had a wonderful experience in the school district of Lake County. I have nothing but pride in the fact that I have served as an educator. I did retire in June of 2023, and I had a few people say, yeah, you should run for that superintendent thing. And I giggled and I laughed and I said, that is hilarious. I have never, ever thought about having a career in politics. That is not why I went to the School of Education at USF, and I happily retired. We have 2 sons, and I happily went to watch our youngest play 8 tennis matches in his Division I college last year. So it was just an absolutely wonderful time. When I got back from a few travels, a few people said to me, you should consider running, and I again laughed and said, that is not retirement. Retirement means you're done. You stay home. You enjoy your children. You get to enjoy your husband a little bit. We reconnected. Just all of those wonderful things, because you know the jobs you do. They're busy, right? And so it's just nice to have that time. Well, as time went on, a few mentors of mine called me and said, Denise, you really should consider this. You spent your life in education. This is what you care about. And you've also talked about making changes. And so today I'm going to talk with you a little bit about those changes that we are starting to make just a couple of months in, with a lot more to come. But I want you to know that each of the roles that I played in those 32 years of education really gave me a deep understanding of our schools, our staff, and most importantly, the needs of our children. My connection to this district and to this community runs deep. As we talked about earlier, I've been a part of this community for now 56 years. I have a great colorist. She takes good care of me. I'm one of 7 children. I'm married to an only child. It's kind of fun. We have a lot of great conversations. And John and I are the proud parents, as we talked about, of 2 wonderful boys who will graduate from law school and college, undergrad, with a finance degree in about 2 months. So we cannot wait to have them off the payroll. It is going to be great. But more importantly and seriously, we're just very excited for them and can't wait for them to begin their professional career right here in Lee County. That's what we're most happy about. I have lived and worked and raised our family here, just like many of you. This is truly my home, and the schools are the foundation and the future of this community, and that's why I returned. That's why I came out of retirement, because I want our schools to be the very best schools that they can be. And so we're going to talk with you a little bit today about how we're going to do that. So let me just briefly, before we get into the priorities, talk with you about the mission and vision. And you've probably seen this a million times. The mission of our school district is abundantly clear. It is to ensure that each child achieves their highest personal potential. And our vision is bold, to be a world-class school system. That's a pretty high bar, and I take that seriously. These guiding principles that are encapsulated in our belief of one vision, one team, drives everything that we do. From ensuring safe and secure schools, to fostering academic excellence and preparing our students for success, not only in college, but now we know the technical fields are extremely important. Today I'm going to share our core priorities. I'm going to talk with you a little bit about the progress we've made in the very short time that I've been superintendent. And I'm going to talk with you most importantly about how I would love for you to engage in these vital efforts, because we cannot do this work alone. So there is no greater priority, and I'll say this probably every single time I speak, than the safety and well-being of our students and our staff. Every single parent deserves peace of mind when they drop their child off at school each and every morning. Every single child deserves a school environment where they can feel safe and respected. I have a zero tolerance policy toward bullying, harassment, threats, or any nonsense that goes on in our schools. Schools must be places of learning, growth, and opportunity without exception. That is our goal. I am really proud of the work that has been done to keep our children safe and to promote the safety and well-being of our students. This includes the deployment of open gate weapons detection systems, the Centegic emergency alert system at all of our sites, ensuring that our SROs are present at every campus. Love that picture with that little one, because it's not just his job to keep her safe, it's his job to let her know that the police are the good guys and the good gals. And also the implementation of the Guardian program, which is now in its third year, and watch, we are going to grow that like nobody else. Together, these initiatives demonstrate our unwavering commitment to creating safe and secure environments for all students and staff. And the good news is, these efforts are working. We took a look recently at some data from our local law enforcement partners. We took a look at the arrests, notices to appear, and civil citations, and it shows in the last year nearly a 40% decrease in overall incidents on our campuses. This is a testament to the proactive approach toward safety. During fiscal year 24, we saw a sharp rise in disruptive behaviors in our schools, surpassing pre-pandemic levels. We have addressed this issue head-on. I'm proud to show you that the number of incidents have decreased this fiscal year when compared to the same time frame last year. However, one growing issue that we're dealing with right now is cell phone misuse that is occurring during the instructional day. To address this, I am proud to tell you that our school board has directed the revision of the school student code of conduct. Pending board approval on March 4th, coming up on Tuesday, this update will require students to keep their phones off and in their backpacks throughout the entire school day. This will ensure a more focused, engaged learning environment. By prioritizing education, accountability, and by taking proactive initiatives, we are empowering students to make better choices, and thus we are creating safer schools, safer homes, and safer communities. I would like to personally take a moment to commend our school board members for their proactive and strong leadership. I appreciate it. I'd like to recognize our board members. Would you please stand? I'm very proud to work with them. Sam, come on up. Stand up. Bill, I may have missed somebody. Thank you very much for your leadership. I am privileged to work with you. Student safety does not begin and end at the school doors. It extends to students' journey to and from school, including the time that they spend at their bus stops. Right now, too many of our students are left waiting in the dark for extended periods of time, and that is simply unacceptable. To address this, I have proposed the Safe Start Initiative to our school board, a plan that transitions our current 4-tier transportation system into a more effective 3-tier model. The reality right now is that 18% of our students arrive late to school every day. That is 8,000 students that come to school late every single day. Just think about that number for a moment. This is due to transportation inefficiencies. I will not put up with that. We don't have enough drivers right now to sustain the current model, and this impacts student learning. By streamlining routes and improving our overall efficiency, the change that we're going to bring forward, starting in August, will cut down wait times and ensure that our students arrive to school on time, safely, and ready to learn. We also recognize that transportation adjustments may impact working families, particularly those with younger children. I was a working mom. That would have been tough for me if we were making some changes to start time. So let's get real. Let's talk about what's going to be needed. It is really imperative that we offer before and after school programs at every one of our elementary and middle school students, because moms like me would not have been able to drop my kids off after 8 o'clock. I had to be at work by 8. So we will make sure that we have these programs in place at each and every one of our elementary and middle schools. Many schools start their day with reading instruction, which is foundational, as you know, to children's success. If students are consistently late to school, they are missing critical learning time. They are missing time with literacy instruction. Our Safe Start initiative isn't just about transportation. It's about ensuring that every student begins their day on time, prepared, and ready to learn. The success of our students lies at the heart of our mission. That's exactly what we are focusing on right now in this school district. There are two key strategies we are focusing on to increase student achievement. And by the way, I did a dissertation that showed there are two things that are going to improve student achievement. It's a high-quality teacher and more time. You can hand teachers all the programs you want all day long. I spent 32 years in education watching superb teachers. If I handed them a math book, they made sure their children were proficient or above. If I handed them a reading book, they made sure their children were proficient or above. It's not about the programs, it's about the teachers. I'm going to tell you that, and I will go to my grave saying that. The success, absolutely, that we must see starts with our teachers. More time in the classroom and ensuring every classroom has a high-quality teacher. Our Safe Start initiative and the proposed changes to our student code of conduct will add more class time and decrease distractions so that students' time is well spent. This will ensure a focused and productive learning environment. So we are working to improve our overall academic performance, which has seen a significant decline over the past decade, and this may look familiar to those of you that attended our State of the Schools back in last May. We shared this data. Our previous superintendent, Ken Savage, shared this data with you. It's not something we're proud of, but it's something we must talk about. When we compare Lee County to the other Big Ten districts in Florida, we see that we have hit our lowest ranking in 13 years. We are simply not keeping pace with the rest of the state, and that is unacceptable to me. We are committed to reversing these past trends that have shown our students falling behind other districts in the state of Florida. However, we do know that there are pockets of success in this school district, and we want to scale those up. We want every classroom at every school to be a banner classroom and to be successful. So we've recently received some good news regarding our graduation rates, and I am proud to share that the class of 2024 has reached an 85.8% graduation rate, the highest since some tougher standards were introduced in 2022. While this is certainly something to celebrate, there's still much more work to be done. And I won't be satisfied, of course, until 100% of our children are walking across the stage getting a diploma. So that leads into our district's next priority of increasing teacher retention and recruitment. And remember, I said the teacher is one of the most important things when it comes to improving student achievement. We are working diligently to ensure that every single classroom is led by a high-quality, dedicated teacher, and that our resources that we have are used effectively to drive academic excellence and student achievement. A great teacher can change the trajectory of a student's life. Think back to your own school days when a substitute teacher walked in. What happened? I know in my classrooms, the energy changed a little bit. Things got a little different. Things got a little loose. Maybe we weren't always well behaved when a substitute teacher was there. Things have not changed, you all. Kids are still kids. That's what they do. While our guest teachers, that's what we call our subs, our guest teachers are absolutely essential. And really, all kidding aside, they do an incredible job. They really do. When our teachers are sick or when they're out, we have really wonderful subs that walk in the door and they step in. But nothing replaces, absolutely nothing replaces the consistency, relationships, and instructional quality that comes from having a dedicated, full-time teacher leading the classroom every single day. Nothing. To provide our students with the best possible education, we must start by building a strong, stable workforce. We must attract talented teachers, support their professional growth, and ensure that they feel valued. When we invest in our teachers, we invest in the success of our children. Over the past 7 years, teacher resignations have increased while the demand for qualified teachers continues to grow. This chart that you're seeing right here illustrates a very concerning trend. The orange bars represent teacher separations. That's when they leave. The small blue bar at the bottom reflects retirements, and the gray line indicates successful recruitment. Unfortunately, our rate of teacher separations far exceeds our ability to recruit new educators. Reversing this trend is absolutely a must-do, and we are taking action. One of our most promising strategies is looking within our own district to find future teachers. Currently, over 1,700 employees, nutrition workers, guest teachers, support staff, and others have bachelor's degrees, and they're eligible to become teachers. This untapped talent presents a tremendous opportunity for us. By providing pathways for these 1,700 individuals who may want to become teachers, we can help them grow. We can help them become the teachers that will then educate our children. In January of this year, I launched a bold challenge to fill the 230 open teacher vacancies by April 30th. That's a big goal. Through focused efforts and a lot of hard work, we have already reduced the number of vacancies to 161. That's from January to February. And we are determined to continue this momentum until every single classroom has a high-quality teacher leading our children forward, and we will do that by April 30th. However, our teachers cannot do this work alone. We know that parents are a child's first teacher. That's why I have a priority called Empowering Parents as Partners in Education. Part of that partnership includes ensuring that families feel welcome at school and that they have a positive experience when we communicate with them. So we did a survey. Last year's survey from Hanover Research indicates that 75% of parents reported a positive experience with the district. While these data are limited to those who responded, there's still work to be done, and we're committed to doing it. To strengthen this partnership with our families, we're hosting town hall meetings all across the district, and you'll look in your packet today and you'll see a listing of those town halls. The first one was held in January at Cape Coral High, and we just held our second one 2 weeks ago in North Fort Myers. These gatherings provide a platform for parents and community members to engage and share their perspectives with school board members and with me. And like I said, we extend an invitation and hope that you will bring a friend to one of our future town halls. To further empower parents, we have created a task force that includes not only internal staff, but also community members, nonprofit organizations, health service agencies, and of course, our parents. This group has already begun meeting, and we are working to find out what keeps parents from being engaged. What is our current level of engagement, and how can we increase parental engagement? How can we empower them to become the partners that we need them to be? Many of these priorities that I've shared with you are ambitious, and some of them come with a price tag. Most do. With a budget that serves more than 100,000 students, fiscal responsibility is a must. We must use our resources wisely. You heard I came from 7 children, right? We did not have a lot of extra in our family, so believe me, we know how to pinch a penny. We must use those resources wisely. We must prioritize our students in classrooms, and we must ensure that our resources are used effectively to drive academic excellence and student achievement. I have challenged our executive team to find extra dollars in their divisional budgets. I have asked them to go line by line and focus on funding the must-haves over the nice-to-haves. We are looking at a 5% overall reduction in our expenses across this district that will total approximately $16 million. That's a lot of work to do since I was sworn in on November 19th, but we're doing it. This will help ensure that our resources are maximized and spent on initiatives that directly impact students and their achievement. We must move these priorities forward. So while many school districts across the state are facing declining enrollment, guess what? We're not. They have discovered sunny Southwest Florida. Some of those districts are even closing schools. We're not. We're building schools. We have continued to grow. Since May of 2024, this school district has increased by more than 2,000 students. Okay, a little technical issue. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so sorry about that, a little technical issue here. In 2018, the half-cent sales tax referendum passed, which helped our district to address critical infrastructure and resource needs. However, it does not fully meet the demands of our rapidly growing student enrollment here in our district. With the half-cent sales tax sunsetting in 2028 and student enrollment continuing to rise, it is crucial to explore additional long-term solutions beyond this temporary funding measure. Strengthening our partnerships with community stakeholders such as local businesses, government entities, and nonprofit organizations can help identify innovative ways to expand our capacity, enhance educational opportunities, and ensure sustainable success for our children. As our district continues to grow, securing the necessary funding and support for our schools is more important than ever. We are blessed that our school board has developed strong relationships not only with our local elected officials, but also with our state legislators. Recently, we traveled to Tallahassee, where we met with key education policyholders to discuss the critical needs of our school district. These conversations are essential to shaping our policies and securing funding that is directly impacting our students' education. But advocacy doesn't stop in Tallahassee. Your voice is vital in this effort. That's why presentations like the one I'm doing today are so important. We encourage you to join us in advocating for our schools by staying informed, by engaging yourself with elected officials, and by supporting our initiatives that benefit our students. So here's what you've been waiting for, I know. Your partnership is critical to our work, specifically when it comes to expanding technical education opportunities in our school district. Preparing students for the future means offering a wide variety of pathways for children. Our career academies are helping to fill critical workforce gaps in Lee County by equipping students with the skills and certifications needed for high-demand careers. According to the 2023-24 Comprehensive Local Needs Assessment and labor market data, the biggest industry needs in Lee County and the greater Southwest Florida region include advanced manufacturing, environmental water and reclamation technology, energy, and aviation maintenance. The school district of Lee County is taking action to ensure that our students graduate with the skills necessary to step into these growing industries. Take a look at the student impact or the school district impact report that you received this morning. If you just take this out and find the section that talks about career and tech ed, it's toward the back. I'd like you to take a look at that if you would. There's a lot of great information in this report about the district, but I want to draw your attention to the career and tech education page found on the inside fold that I just referenced. You'll see that the district already offers programs in health sciences, engineering, construction, and more. Additionally, 5 of the district's career and tech ed clusters have significant potential for growth and immediate development, including health science, manufacturing, architecture and construction, law, public service and safety, and transportation. I am so passionate about this work that I established a new position in our district, an Associate Superintendent of Career and Tech Ed. Pending board approval on Tuesday, this person will be selected for this role, and you will meet them very, very soon. Inside the impact report, you're going to see a QR code, and I've also included it here on the screen. Please take out your phones if you would right now, and I'd love for you to scan this QR code. This will allow you to sign up and become one of our partners in education. You can be a mentor, a classroom guest speaker. You can offer internship opportunities and job opportunities to our students, and you can even help to sponsor some of our programs. You can decide how you want to strengthen our partnership together by supporting the future of our students. In addition, we invite you to join us at an upcoming career showcase that will take place in April at the school district's main offices on Colonial Boulevard. You'll be hearing more about this event in the weeks to come. So I want to thank you today for your time, your leadership, and your unwavering support and partnership. By working together, we can create the strongest possible future and foundation for our students. I look forward to working with each one of you as we advance these priorities over the next 4 years and strengthen our community. I'll be happy to take some questions, and thank you very much for the opportunity. So I know there are some questions. We'll start with Matt, and then we'll go to Randy.
Thanks. Denise, thanks for being here and everything you're doing. Well, wanted to ask a clarification question on your slide about capacity and some funding. Are you
this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Did I understand correctly? Was it your forecast that even if voters choose to extend after 2028 the half-cent sales tax, and that remains in place going forward after that sunset period, would the school district still be underfunded in future years, even with the half-cent sales tax, in order to keep up with capacity?
Yeah, so here's what I'll say about the sales tax, and I get asked about this pretty frequently in the community. I am not a supporter of moving forward with the sales tax after 2028. Here's why, Matt. We have to do our homework. I have just begun to dig into our budget, and we have found in the first couple of weeks almost $16 million. We have to keep going. We have to learn to live within our budget. We just have to. Growing up as one of 7 children, we didn't go to the bank and say, hey, can we have another $1 billion? We looked at our budget and we said, this is what we need to do. We prioritize the things that are important to us. So in my opinion, right now, we are not prepared to go back out for another sales tax in 2028 because we have not done our work. We just haven't. $16 million in a handful of weeks. There's more in the budget. We're going to find it.
Thank you.
Randy, you had a question.
Well, I'll get on my soapbox then. I've been an advocate many years in this group, and they know it, for money for the schools. You're our biggest asset when it comes to economic development, which is what we do. And the first thing they say are, how are the schools? And you know how important that is, and we know how important it is. And you're in a friendly crowd. I guarantee you, the majority of these people voted for you. So.
Well, that was very nice. Wow, thank you.
Well, I'm certain of that. I know these people. But we've raised, I think it said, your brochure says $561 million through 6 years. We have 4 more. You'll remember back maybe 12 years ago when the pricing of the land was so high and the controversy was in the newspapers about not being able to fund the schools, and that everybody was fighting, and it was a negativity that we didn't need. And at that time, I stood up in this group and said, look, we're going to build the schools. Let's figure out how we're going to do it. We got a 0.5% sales tax. Many people were against it, but we got the threshold to get it passed. You have now benefited $561 million. You have 4 more years left. Okay. I'm not for taxation, but I'm advocating that we do increase that, because you save $16 million in 3 months. God bless you. But we're spending $27,000 something per student if you just take the raw numbers against the budget. How are you going to increase this $100 million a year when we already don't have enough money to build the schools or keep up with demand? And it's my position, and I'll say this to Brian, we should take 1 cent, give half to the roads, half to the schools, and then solve some of our problems here. We have to get the money. And now, compound it with a bill in the legislature saying no property tax, I don't know what that's going to do. So we need every avenue, and that's just my thing. I think you should support it, and we should support it. Thank you.
Thank you. I see a question in the middle there.
Thank you. My name is Brett Borchell.
Hi, Brett.
And I commend you and everyone involved in the Lee County School District. I have 2 kids, one who's now on a full ride up at FSU, thanks to your dual enrollment program from Bonita High, and then a junior there at Bonita High. And just as a side note, I'm involved in a co-founder of a 501c3 that is all about revolutionizing mental health. And from the struggles that myself and all of my friends and family, pretty much everyone in this room, we all have our own stories. That's something to just keep in mind is that in the schools, and for all of us, if we ate high-fat, high-sugar foods and we don't feel well afterwards. So I know that you have a very difficult job with a very tight budget, and just to please keep nutrition in mind because what we feed our kids, it really impacts the ability for them to focus cognitively and physiologically, and then also it makes it easier for the teachers. So,
couldn't agree more. Thank you so much, Brett, for the comment. No, couldn't agree more. And there are actually things we are talking about in our food nutrition services to go back to more of like batch scratch cooking and some of those types of things. Our board just had a presentation on that about a month or so ago where we brought in some healthier foods. We also have a healthy living collaborative that's going on where schools are creating their own gardens. There's all kinds of really good work going on in the health and nutrition space. So thank you for your comment and supports what we're working on. Thank you. Other questions? There's one at the back.
So first, thank you for your presentation and for all the work that you've done over 32 years and counting. We appreciate you came out of retirement. I also appreciate your stance about trying to find how you get the maximum benefit and efficiency out of dollars before asking for more dollars. But I also understand where Randy's coming from, and I think it's the greatest way to get support is to show that you're doing everything you can. What I am curious about is, as we have so many terrific business people in this room, one of the issues we've had has been enough people to be able to fill the jobs in our community. And I'm wondering if this person that's going to be just assigned or appointed, that new role that you talked about in the career and technology, do you know or are you going to be tracking what percentage of students are actually remaining in the community and perhaps coming up with suggestions on how the business community needs to be a better partner in giving these students opportunities to be able to remain at home, strengthen families, have family support as they build their families, as well as filling our needed jobs so that our community continues to become healthier?
Absolutely. Thank you for the question, John. The first thing I'll say is make sure you scan the code because that's the very first thing. When you make a connection with one of our students or a group of our students, that's our greatest ability, our greatest strategy on retaining children in this community. Too many times our kids get out of school, they don't know what their options are. I was really fortunate. 6 girls and one boy in our family. My dad was a really strong force in our lives. He sat down with all 7 of us. What do you want to do? Those conversations happened very early on at the dinner table, very early on. And it was expected, because I'm old, it was expected you're going to go to college. And so in our home, college was not optional. It was a must-do. It was a matter of what are you going to do. Times have changed. Now we know there's a tremendous opportunity, not only in the trades, the military, you name it, it's out there. The world of work. I'm getting a certification, and if you haven't been to our career academies, I would encourage you to do that. But to me, the greatest power, John, in keeping students in this community starts with the scanning of that code. Because when you make a connection as a business person, as a community leader with one of our students or a group of our students, they're going to say, this is a place I want to be. Here's the other thing, John. With the new position, the Associate Superintendent, my intention is for him to organize a symposium. A group of you all will be invited, as well as other community leaders, to come into a room. We're going to have our curriculum on display. Here's what we're doing in the area of career and tech education. You weigh in on it. Are we doing the right things? Is it an outdated curriculum? Are there things that are no longer required? How about the job market? What would you like to see? I quoted a few statistics from the state of Florida and from some surveys that have been done locally, but I would like you to take a look at those. We are here to serve you. I'd like you to take a look at what we're offering and to see if we're missing the mark. I've already heard from a few community leaders. Some of our career academies may no longer be what's needed in this community. So his job will be to pull together a large meeting where we'll have our career and tech teachers there, our community leaders there, our business leaders, and sharing these are the jobs we need. And then have that ongoing conversation, not just a one and done, but to have that conversation ongoing. So we think that will help to encourage what you're encouraging today, and that is to keep our students right here in this community. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And I'll talk to you afterwards if that's okay.
Thank you so much, Dr. Carlin. We again, you can sense, her passion, right? So thank you so much for here. And I know we have to start wrapping up a little bit, but I'm sure Dr. Carlin will be here, so if you have any questions, you can come up afterwards and ask her and interact. That would be great. So a couple of reminders. The Horizon Council Day at the Stadium, Twins versus Braves, Friday, March 7th at 1:05. RSVPs are due today, so please make sure that you reach out to Amanda. Her information is in your packet, so please RSVP if you plan on attending. Also, Edison Awards, April 2nd through 3rd. Please check their website, edisonawards.com, for more information. You guys hear us talk about Edison Awards and all the great things and interactions, and they're participating with the AI program that we have as well, so much more to come on that. And just a reminder that the next Horizon Council General Membership meeting will be Friday, April 25th, right here. And thank you so much for Florida Southwestern for hosting us and continuing to host us. I have really enjoyed the air conditioning this morning, so all good, all good. Voting member input. Does anybody have anything to share? I see a hand.
Of that, or Tech Match, I'm sorry, it's with Career Source, but I have a flyer on it if you want to take a picture of it or whatever, but this follows up great with Dr. Carlin's remarks. That matches up employers with anyone interested in employment or students wanting more information, that kind of thing, but that is on March 26th from 5:30 to 7:30 at FGCU. So, and also, if you want information like that, we have a pretty good comprehensive list at swfltech.org. Go sign up for our newsletter because we send out information pretty much on a monthly basis with great links and a lot of what's going on in this tech world. So that way you can always email us if you have something you want included or whatever. But check out Tech Match.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other voter inputs?
And I like that you're taking a Doge kind of approach to the budget. Yay! And being efficient, and your passion shows. And I walked a student to elementary school, and it was a young boy walking back. It was supposed to be parents. And he said to me, I said, well, why are you? My parents have to work, so I'm here. Aren't you in school? Yeah, but I'm going to go to work afterwards. I'm not going back to school. And I said, why? He said, school's not for me. My parents want me to do it, but give me options. And I'm like, there are options. And Dr. Tamara at FDCU got rid of sociology, which I have a PhD in, and I'm all for that, getting rid of it, and teaching civics back, to the core of what makes character. So thank you so much for instilling that.
All right. Well, we are closing our February general membership meeting. Thank you so much for attending. Do I have a motion to adjourn? All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.